Okay, so let's talk about distance control, speed management.
Oh, yeah.
Right, it's without a doubt one of those things after green reading. I think it's something that a lot of players do practice, but they're not quite sure how to practice it.
Well, yeah, I mean, speed. When I ask a new player, how they train speed, they can't tell me any drills. They just say, I've got feel or touch. Yeah. Now, to me, feel is a fluffy cloud of something. It's like a thing we talk about, we believe in. Yeah. Now, functional movement skills equals ability. Yeah. Okay, so a player that plays 5 days a week and is already elite, playing on tour, they've got a modicum of speed control. They're either good at it or they have days where they're good and bad, but they don't train it, but they're already there. Yeah. Now, speed would be the biggest key to putting. Yeah. If your speed was good and your reads were half decent, like we talked about earlier, you can kind of work out start line and make putts. But the thing about speed is you won't 3-putt if your speed's good, and you won't have to adjust your reads because of the potential aggressive putt or soft putt. So a lot of people make a putt every now and then because 2 wrongs make a right. For example, low aim, smash the putt, it goes in.
Yeah. Like you did.
Yeah, two wrongs make a right in putting. So speed control for me would be a key skill that people should start with. And if your speed was always good, and you had you could work reads out, you could make some putts. Yeah. But if your speed's bad and your reads bad, you're done.
And when I do my coaching clinics, I often relate it to the analogy of lawn bowls, right? And there's a jack at the end.
Yeah, yeah.
And I feel like most players stand up there with their bowl and they're always trying to destroy the jack.
Exactly, yeah. Well, they have to make the putt.
Yeah, rather than try and get it as close as they possibly can.
Yeah, and the thing about speed is when I ask people, how do you determine how far you hit it? Yeah. They'll just say, I hit it harder for longer putts. Exactly.
Beautiful. Well said.
Yeah. Or hit it softer for short. I mean, the thing about this is people don't quite realise what 2 things they do determine how far the ball goes. So what we'll do here is I'll run you through the 2 key components of speed control. Love it. And I've set some discs out here at 10, 20 and 30 foot. Okay. Now what I'd like you to do is just to hit me 3 10-foot putts to that first disc. I'm just going to observe. Okay, so the face of your putter went about there. So let's hit another one just to double check. And if you could get it right in line with that T-peg every time, that's it. Yep. Right, and see that was a little bit longer, that one. So the backswing length on that one was just past the T-peg. Let's have one more. Okay, so I'm just going to move that peg back to where the face of that putter came to. So there is your 10-foot backswing length. Okay. For you to hit a putt further, what would you change?
For me to hit a putt,
what would you do?
I would increase the length of my stroke.
Okay, now how long is your backswing for a 20-foot putt?
I don't think about it. I look at the target and build a feel in my pre-shot routine and then recreate it.
Which is great because that's your pre-shot routine, that's on course, everything's different, the visualization or the matching of the stroke length. The thing about it is what makes you good at visualizing it or rehearsing? What have you done to teach you what is the right length?
Hit 1,000,000 putts in my life.
Hit 1,000,000 putts. Good answer. So let me give you some maths behind that, yeah?
Okay.
Your backswing, okay, for a 10-foot putt was just past 10 inches. Okay, so what we know is we can increase that by 50% if we keep your forward time the same. Yeah. So the key to this is distance divided by time. So once we know what you're happy with for a 10-foot putt, the key is to keep the forward time the same. Yeah. And the forward time is measured in seconds. Yeah. And that's a feel or a rhythm.
Yeah, that would be rhythm.
It's either quick, medium or slow. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is I'm going to give you a stroke length for a 30-foot putt. Put it there. Then we'll just split the difference there. So there's your 3 backswing lengths for 10, 20 and 30. And what you're going to find here, if you rehearse them, good. You'll go to the 30. You'll feel like that 30 feels like a long backswing.
Oh yeah.
Now, this is what we see with everyone. Basically, your old model would have been swing it a little bit longer, speed up. Swing it a little bit longer, speed up, or hit. Yeah. Now, the problem with that is it's too hard to get the match. It's like a peak in acceleration. Yeah. So the simplest thing is to give you the stroke lengths and for you to actually rehearse your rhythm. Now the rhythm is pertained with the 10-foot putt.
Okay.
So I'd like you to take the putter face back to that first tee peg. That's it, and hit me a 10-foot putt. Beautiful. So that was the right stroke length and the right forward time. And also you notice how the sound changed. There's a lovely sweet strike.
Yeah.
So did that feel quick, medium or slow to you?
Through impact?
From start of downswing to impact.
Medium.
Good. So you are a medium tempo.
Okay.
So now why don't we play the 20-foot with a medium tempo? So I've given you the stroke length where that brown tee peg is. Now without looking up, I just want you to use the same time frame moving forward.
Yep.
Right, bang on. Okay, so there's our 20-footer.
Perfect.
Exactly. And now, without thinking too much, swing it to the farthest tee peg, and I want the same downswing time. Okay, so that's gone too far, but also your swing was probably about this much further than the tee peg.
Yeah. Okay.
So all of a sudden what we have here, Kerrod, is we have two skills. How long we swing it and the time it takes to get back to impact. That didn't go too far because the swing's too long. It's too long and got back too quick.
Yeah.
So what we do now is we go back to the start and go 10, 20, 30. Beautiful. So you're now starting to feel a rhythm. Okay, you're starting to use that time frame on downswing.
So 20?
Yes, please. Beautiful. There we go.
I'm just going to be a 20-foot putter.
That's it, yeah. Good foursomes partner for the lags.
Exactly.
Okay, let's get to that furthest tee peg. There you go. Now we've hit 6 putts. Now what happens is this is your gym for speed.
What a great drill.
I totally agree with you that when you're playing, you should work on how long you want to swing it and the time it takes to get back, like a field drill, like a rehearsal. But you have to have some kind of exercise that gives you feel.
Yeah.
So this is a functional movement skill. I want to swing it this long and I want it to get back in this time frame. So in play, I don't want you thinking about how long your swing is. I want you just to be in inches. I want you just saying, this plus this feels right for that.
Yeah.
Uphill, you could swing it a bit longer and a bit quicker. Downhill, you can swing it shorter and slower. But all of a sudden, we're rehearsing before we play based on exercises like this, warm-up drills like this, time spent understanding that there's corridors of long and short, corridors of quick and slow.
Yeah.
Now we've got 2 skills. I want to swing it this long and I want to use this timing. That's speed control. That's distance control. Most people just hit and hope.
Yeah.
And they'll be thinking, I hope it doesn't go too far, or my last 2 putts didn't make it to the hole.
Yeah.
Funny thing is, a lot of people will say they change their stroke length, and I say how much by, and they say I haven't got a clue.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah. And what the pattern I see from a lot of players is very small increase in backswing length, but a lot of acceleration.
And then we know that at the moment of impact, then that generally tends to add loft, right?
Yeah.
And then the ball starts bobbling all over the shop, and then that messes out the whole start line and distance control even more because the ball's bouncing.
Yeah, and now how do you generate extra speed? Is it wrists? Is it body movement? And
too many golfers like this.
Yeah, and now we know where all where these tendencies come from.
Yeah.
Because if you swing it too short, you've got to find speed somewhere, and that throws everything out.
Yeah. So I think that's an excellent drill just to stand here and go, okay, that feels like it. I can see that's kind of going back to that tee. Then we'll go to the next one. What does that feel like? That certain length. Go to the last one. And then just the same as you would working on a full swing drill or exercise, working on the process, on the range, and not focusing too much on the outcome because you're trying to build a skill here.
Definitely.
When you're on the golf course, you just trust it.
100%.
So practice starts to embed and then off you go from there.
Yeah, your pre-shot routine is governed by these sort of drills for feel. It's not a word I like using, feel, because it's there. Yeah. But this definitely generates feel or an ability.
Yeah. Excellent drill that anyone can practice.
And what AimPoint's done is it's worked out how the stroke lengths are for quick tempos, medium and slow. Yeah. So it's another thing we learn in AimPoint classes, which would be distance control.
Yeah. Well, there you go, guys. Make sure you go out and, as you can see, AimPoint's so much more than just green reading. You can talk about start line. You can also do distance control. And how many videos did you say that you're thinking about writing down the other day?
There's hundreds. So I documented my drills because, you know, I use a lot of drills. I make them up every day, and I've forgotten loads. So I thought I'd document them, and it literally was between 250 and 300 names of drills, and each of those drills has variations. And then we can match them to scenarios, and it's endless really. I mean, I'll spend 2 hours working with someone and we'll still feel fresh, but more importantly, they can now go and practice working on one of the 3 key skills. There's specific drills for speed, there's specific drills for read, and there's specific drills for start line. We work on each of those 3 segments where we've separated the skills, and then we bring them back together with like a pre-putt routine and then in play what's going to happen. So isolating the skills is the key, and going with intention. You know, if we're going to do half hour on speed now, that's all we focus on. For example, if we just played to different holes and we were doing speed, if all your reads were wrong, your speed would be screwed. You'd have to change. You'd have to have bad speed to make a putt. So that's why people can't get beyond that. They can't progress.